Chapter 322 Liu Jing's Treasure Seal. Han Li felt furious. His anger wasn't due to the fact that he had saved Senior Marshal Brother Wang in a moment of benevolence, or even because he had to fully utilize his shifting smoke steps. Han Li's anger was due to the fact that Lu Jing and the others were squandering this opportunity to eliminate the 3 transforming blood servants. Once the 3 blood servants finished transforming, a huge dilemma would await them. Han Li was reminded of Senior Marshal Brother Wang's kind assistance during his fight with Qing Wen, and thus, when Han Li noticed that Senior Marshal Brother Wang was on the verge of falling in the Ice Demon scheme, he instantly flashed forward into order to save him. Enraged from Han Li's intervention, the Ice Demon immediately pursued him, forcing Han Li to deal with him. But soon after, Han Li felt that this Ice Demon would prove extremely troublesome for his fellow sect members and decided it would be better for him to take care of it alone. After all, if even more of his fellow sect members died, they would be lacking in numbers for the upcoming battle. However, during his fight with the Ice Demon, he didn't expect that the others would just stare blankly. They were actually squandering this great opportunity to attack the 3 remaining light cocoons. Even so, Han Li had a faint feeling that the others didn't even know this opportunity existed due to their fear of the Ice Demon's ambush. Although they realized that having to deal with the fully transformed blood servants would be even more troublesome, they were still hesitant and slightly desired to retreat. In reality, Han Li didn't come here in order to eradicate the Black Fiend School but rather for another predetermined objective. As such, he was unable to run away in a rash manner. Ever since the half-transformed Ice Demon left his cocoon, he had been trying to kill Han Li. But Han Li found that so long as he was a bit careful, the demon did not pose much of threat to him. In fact, he felt that the large bald man was significantly harder to handle in comparison to the demon. Following the transformation, the Ice Demon acquired a transparent body, exceptional speed, and some control over cold chi. Thus, he was now able to utilize his speed to create an illusion of invisibility similar to that of the shifting smoke steps. But due to the Ice Demon's transparent body, he became even harder to detect. Since this strange movement technique could only be displayed on land, as long as they were above ground, they could force the Ice Demon to reveal itself by using large-scale magic techniques. After all, his high-speed movements were only deadly within a short distance. It was unable to keep up with a cultivator's flying magic tool. Because Lu Jing and company had never experienced this kind of close combat, they felt that their opponent was extremely monstrous and difficult to engage. Fortunately, Han Li had often fought in this manner and naturally held greater experience in fighting such battles. With that in mind, Han Li suddenly repelled the demon's sharp claws with a wave of his silver sword, buying himself a short moment. He then stood still to become visible and he loudly yelled, "Everyone, fly to the skies and continue to attack the other 3 blood servants. I will prevent this demon from attacking you." Following these instructions, Han Li's figure suddenly flickered, disappearing from sight once more. It was not surprising for Han Li that the silver sword, which had been looted during the trial by Blood and Fire, was able to withstand the demon's sharp claws. The fact that caused Han Li to become astonished was that the claws were also undamaged. When Lu Jing heard Han Li's instructions, he immediately understood what Han Li intended. Even so, he remained hesitant and felt extremely conflicted. Although Lu Jing originated from a large cultivation clan, he had been captured by evil cultivators during his childhood. During that time, he suffered from extreme, agonizing torment to the extent where he had almost lost his life. It was only afterwards that he was rescued by his clan and was apprenticed to Li Huaiyuan. Due to the trauma he had experienced in his childhood, Lu Jing held deep hatred toward evil cultivators. As a result, he followed an iron-blooded policy to kill all evil cultivators on sight, refusing to allow any evil cultivator from escaping his grasp, regardless of what freakish techniques they practiced. Much to his delight, These actions rewarded him with great popularity among other cultivators, even causing a few seven-sect cultivators with higher cultivation than him to look at him with a trace of admiration. Although Lu Jing continued to appear unfazed on the outside, his heart gradually began to indulge in these feelings of admiration. In fact, he later took the initiative to root out evil cultivators from every direction, mostly for the sake of seeing others gaze upon him with admiration. Naturally, Lu Jing hid this fact in the depths of his heart with extreme care and conducted himself as though he were a moral paragon. Thus, Lu Jing became known as an enemy of evil, the iron-blooded senior martial brother Lu. Now that another evil known as the Black Fiend School had appeared, he was compelled to eliminate it. However, they were the strongest evil cultivators he had ever encountered. He wasn't completely confident that he would be able to rely on his normal magic tools to eliminate the 3 remaining blood servants. His attack power was lacking and would only serve to end their transformations earlier, resulting in 3 more half-demons to fight. One half-transformed demon was already very difficult to handle. They did not know if they could handle additional half-demons or if they would just be throwing their lives away. But if they were to retreat now, they would have just scared the Black Fiend School away, resulting in the complete failure of their mission. If they allowed the Black Fiend School to disappear without a trace and conceal themselves once more, Lu Jing's painfully nurtured reputation would be thoroughly and irrevocably destroyed. The thought of others looking upon him with contempt caused Lu Jing to feel winded and extremely depressed. Han Li's exhortation had forced him to make a choice. Senior Martial Brother Lu, should we retreat? The Black Fiend School is far stronger than we've imagined. If we're going to retreat, we must do it now or else it will be too late. Senior Martial Brother Wang softly said after approaching hesitantly. Lu Jing could clearly see cowardice from Martial Brother Wang's shifting gaze. Retreat? If I retreat now, then I'll appear just as cowardly. Lu Jing thought with a bitter smile. Everyone, fly to the skies and protect me as I cast my magic. Let me deal with the 3 blood servants. Lu Jing instructed. At the same time, he thought, it seems I'll have to use my life-saving measure in this fight. Otherwise, I won't be able to win and preserve my reputation. Senior Martial Brother Lu, you want to deal with the blood servants by yourself? However, when the others heard Lu Jing's words, they all looked at him in disbelief, causing Lu Jing to feel a bottomless ache in his heart. But still, his appearance remained calm. Without speaking, he flew directly to the sky on a magic tool as he solemnly retrieved a fire-red jade box from his storage pouch. At this moment, Lu Jing had completely recovered his calmness as if he were in complete control. When the surrounding disciples saw this, they glanced at each other and felt slightly more confident as they followed after him. A reluctant look covered Lu Jing's face as he stared at the jade box in his hand. But soon after, his expression became resolved and he placed his hands on the box. In an instant, the jade box shattered apart into minuscule pieces, revealing a peculiar talisman covered in red light. A fire-red flame bird was inscribed on the talisman. It incessantly flapped its wings as though it was flying freely like a real bird. The bird's glowing blue eyes even occasionally shifted. The most astonishing fact was the scorching chi the talisman emitted. It caused the temperature within 30 meters to abruptly rise, leaving his allies parched from the scorching heat. Song Meng and the others approached and saw the astonishing scene of the talisman unfold. Treasure talisman! Song Meng exclaimed upon seeing the talisman. No, this isn't a common treasure talisman. This is a treasure seal. After seeing the talisman's strange appearance, Senior Martial Brother Wang cried out as if he had just seen a ghost. Those who knew of this treasure seal were dumbstruck. While this so-called treasure seal was considered a treasure talisman, it was completely different from common treasure talismans. First of all, common treasure talismans only contained a tenth of the original magic treasure's might at most. However, a treasure seal defied this convention, allowing it to contain a third of a magic treasure's might. Secondly, treasure seals could only be refined with the bloodline of the magic treasure's master. As a result, Only descendants of this specific bloodline would be able to activate and make use of this talisman. If someone else were to attempt to use it, the talisman would destroy itself. With such great benefits, there naturally had to be some significant disadvantages, otherwise, all the elders would leave their later generations with only treasure seals. While treasure seals contain several times more power than ordinary treasure talismans, its greatest flaw was that it could only be used once. This single use would display the entirety of its might without restraint and leave no second use. As a result, it was far less practical than common treasure talismans. Additionally, there was another reason as to why so few treasure seals were passed down. After a magic treasure went through the process of bloodline refinement in order to produce a treasure seal, the magic treasure would suffer permanent and irrecoverable loss in strength. After knowing these restrictions, elder cultivators felt it would be far better to leave behind several ordinary treasure talismans for their descendants rather than ruining their own magic treasures which were as precious to them as their own lives. Thus, many cultivators joked that there were several times more magic treasures in the cultivation world than treasure seals. Although these words were slightly exaggerated, they weren't far from the truth.